Hello everyone, my name is Uthris, and welcome to the Kindred. And this is kind of a new early access game that kind of hit Steam recently. And it is very similar to Timber and Stone, or Stonehearth, if those two games are or something to compare this to. This is fairly good looking for just now hitting kind of the market here. So basically what this is a kind of farming sim in a sense, and gathering survival. Just so far from what I can tell, there are no hostile mobs, but you basically just try and build. It's a little bit more of a modern setting, so you have more like farm homes, barns, windmills for power, and some power management to go on there for some better crafting machines and things of that nature. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a short series on this, hopefully for you guys, and just to kind of introduce you to the game. It's probably not far enough along yet to do like a really long series such as Timber and Stone. That's what I do there, but it's definitely good enough to at least show it off, because so far it's doing well, as far as I know, fairly well for how new it is. So we're just going to go ahead and do a large map. You can, of course, change the seed. So we'll just kind of, do something like that. And, of course, get rid of that. And off we go. So we're being translocated to our settlement area, as my cat decides to chew on some plastic because he is stupid. And we'll go ahead and load into the game. It runs very smooth, which is nice to see. And right now, the pathing is good. Unlike Stonehearth, where sometimes the people won't want to build a structure, this is a little bit more in terms of Timber and Stone with how the building works. So I'm going to lay down each block at a time, and then build ladders to allow our citizens here to reach them. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the game real quick and just show you guys kind of what the graphics look like and things like that. The camera is smooth, the water effects are very nice for really a game like this. Timber and Stone is a little bit more less 3D, it's a little bit more pixel, and then the water effect is completely different than the rest. And this is a little bit nicer looking in terms of the water. I mean, it has some nice reflection going on. But everything else is very similar to Stonehearth. So that's about what I can compare it to. Now what I want to do is maybe make a small hut to begin with of some kind. You do have direct control over all of your citizens, and unlike other games like this, we have some more kind of direct control over their movements, but we also have no control over their jobs. So everyone kind of does everything. So everyone will help out, everyone will kind of do something as long as there's a spare tool to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and till some land and get some farms going. And do we have a hoe in here? We do. We have two hoes, so two people will go ahead and start doing that. The UI is rather simple and pretty straightforward. So we need a crafting bench of some kind, and we will also need a smelting furnace for later. And really the only thing that you have to manage is your food intake compared to output. So I am consuming 600 units of food right now per day. My current food supply is 1212. So I have basically 2 days worth of food for my citizens. I can hunt the sheep, and my people will go. She is obviously here. Kenzie Venster. Can I rename these guys? Doesn't look like it. She's gonna go ahead and kill that sheep. Sometimes things take a second to update before they disappear. Let's go ahead and get some things planted. So I'm just gonna plant pretty much everything we have. Okay. And let's get some carrots as well. Cool. So those will grow over time, just like the other games. And let's go ahead and gather up some wood. So we're going to chop down these larger trees. And you can also harvest, of course, from these fruit-bearing trees. And also there are some occasional wild things you can harvest. Looks like that's a sapling. What's a wild item that we could do? I don't know. The way the crafting works is when you're not clicked on anything, you kind of have your base menu here, which allows you to place items that you have crafted, but to actually specifically craft an item, you have to click on one of the crafting benches. And this crafting bench can, you know, make some pretty basic things. Our furnace can smelt some basic ores. And eventually we'll be working up to a metalworking bench, which will allow us to craft more advanced things. Did I burn through all my seeds? Because it kind of looks like it. Wow. I don't think any of our crops are going to grow there. I don't know if I have to till on dirt. But that would have been... No? The seeds are there. It just took a second to update, I guess. Alright. Kind of the first thing that you want to do is probably make beds for everyone. So they complain if they do not have beds. And so we need to make 5 of these. And I believe you already start with just 1 here in the housing tab. And I'm just going to place these down. So eventually I need to make little small huts for these guys, which takes a little bit of time, of course. That I don't know how far I can get to in a single episode. I might do a little bit of a skip to show some more advanced things eventually. Animation's very basic. The character models are a little crude compared to certain parts of the game. Like if we go over and maybe find a sheep. Is this a sheep? Looks like a baby sheep. The animals, in my opinion, look a little bit better than the people. There we go. That's a full-grown sheep. So it's not too bad. Obviously using that voxel style. Everything you hover over gives you a little bit of a name of what you're looking at. So there are ore to mine, to get metals, to build some more advanced things. Okay, let's see if any of those beds were made. Okay, cool. Alright. And you can rotate the items, like most of these. So that's a bed for everyone. Everyone is assigned a bed. You know, when they get tired, they'll go ahead and pick a bed. I don't know how you gain citizens. I haven't really gotten that far yet. But there is a relationship status for these guys when you do click on them. So maybe they'll produce some offspring eventually for us all. Ah, good. We harvested all that. So this is copper ore and coal. I need to find iron. I think this is iron over here. Iron is really the first thing you need. I don't know what the copper and coal is for. I don't know what nickel is for. A lot of things I don't know. What is this? Wheat? We're gonna harvest that. And we'll go ahead and harvest some of these fruit-bearing trees. We can eventually make a cooking pot. In fact, I think I have one. If I go into the housing, not housing tab, but the crafting tab, and go to cooking pot. And cooking will increase how much food an item might give. So if I cook meat, it'll eventually give us bonus food if it's cooked. I believe that's how that works. don't hold me to it. Let's go ahead and increase our thing here. But eventually, you know, we got power generators, powered machines, you know, lamp posts for lighting, coops for our chickens. Once we get that, we can have fences, plenty of seeds, housing, so you can build your own structures. And really, that's what it sums up to. Just, you know, manage your citizens, make sure they're fed and happy. I'm just happy that I'm able to click them around like a normal RTS. Stonehearth really, in my opinion, needs something like that. Okay, so we're coming to the evening, and what I want to do is let's count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do a 5 by 5 structure. This will be a nice little shed for us to kind of call home for 2 people. And then we'll move some beds inside of it at some point. Let's see if there's any more wood to harvest. Wood, in my opinion, is going to be your go-to construction early on, as always. Alright, we'll harvest those. Just keep our food up. I like to have 2 days worth of food in storage pretty much at all times. Figure that's the best. We do have a wheat seed, so I'll go ahead and plant that, which is pretty cool. I didn't have wheat in a test save that I was working on. Let's see, can we cook any food? Do we have any food to cook? Roast beef, maybe? No. Roast chicken? No. But if we go hunt some animals, we can get some meat to cook up. There's a chicken over here. So you can either shepherd them or hunt them. I'm gonna hunt some a little bit initially here. Now I don't know how the shepherding works, so I don't want to overhunt. I don't know if they respawn or not. And it is super dark. You guys probably can't see anything. So I'll see you guys maybe a little bit later on in the save. And we can go over some hopefully some better and more detailed items. Alright, so some time has passed, and the first house is built. And I'm going to go ahead and go over some things that I did learn from playing through a couple days and trying to construct this thing. Number 1, the AI lacking is what I have to say, but it's, you know, it's a start. I can't really complain too much. It's about equivalent to probably Stonehearth in its current state. You know, I had one person die of hunger when they were standing right beside the crate full of food, so they just starved and died. Yeah, occasionally that will happen. I have this person who is completely stuck. I don't know how they're still alive. So, and that's going on right now. I don't know why, but I'm sure it'll come to me eventually. Another little thing is it looks like sometimes when you go to harvest some of your crops, they basically glitch out and they become unharvestable, and what you have to do is actually dig the ground underneath them away and then re-till the land and replant. It's not a major thing, as food really isn't too hard to get, in my opinion. And that's about it in terms of some glitches that I ran into. Really minor. You can probably work around all of it. I have no idea how you get more citizens, or even if you can yet. I think that might be something they're still working on. Again, it's only been out since the 24th? What day is it now? Let me check. I've been losing the track of the days. It's not even out. In fact, it'll be out when you guys see this video, but when I'm playing it now, I guess I must have gotten my code early. So, the windmill is pretty cool, you know. I'm pretty excited to see what all you could build. It's a little blocky, just like Minecraft, which I'm fine with, really. It doesn't need to be more or less detailed for what it is. I'd rather, you know, the gameplay and everything function well before they worry about adding some more decorative blocks, because, you know, just to fix some AI things. I have no idea how shepherding works, or even if it does work. Oh. What are you doing? Yeah, I have no idea. You know, you could technically, in the tutorial, they have a fairly comprehensive tutorial on some basics, and they have some chickens in the pen with the coop and everything. I couldn't tame a chicken to save my life. I don't know if there's a tool that I'm missing to actually tame something, or what, but I haven't really found what workbench would make that. We have a concrete mixer. Nothing you can make out of the concrete mixer yet. The kiln, you can make bricks with some sand, limestone, and clay. Pretty cool that they have kind of a higher tiered kind of building block locked away behind that. I kind of like that. It's a progression thing, and I'm all for progression and feeling like you're kind of achieving something over time. Also, another thing that I noticed while looking around the map is they're using kind of realistic ores for things. So like bauxite, bismuth, I believe, is what I saw earlier. And if you guys saw any of my terraformer craft videos, I mean, you know, bismuth and, you know, copper makes bronze, and so there might be some advanced things going on a bit later. But right now, it's super basic, and I'm pretty excited for it. I'm gonna give it some time, of course, to let it mature a little bit more and fix some wrinkles. But right now, I'm okay with it. It's a pretty fun thing to play for a little bit. Timber and Stone and probably Stonehearth is a little bit farther along, but this one, being a passive take on things and a little bit more modern, gives it enough variation to where I think it's going to be able to stand on its own. So, if you guys enjoyed kind of the first look here at the Kindred, go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment down below on what you guys might think, and we're going to go ahead and maybe, if we can, watch the wonderful sunset, and I'll call this episode here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and leave a comment down below if you have anything else you want me to try and play and hear my opinions on. And until then, I'll see you all in the next episode.